A lot of people lack the ability to be a student, which is why a lot of people do not succeed in whatever they're trying to do. Like, if you cannot take information from someone that is clearly better than you at a subject, then you'll never be able to lead people or get further in life. You have to be a student before you be a leader. You have to serve before you can be a master. And you never ever stop serving, even when you do become a leader, even when you do become a master. I was in the gym today and I was training somebody, and I'm trying to explain to this dude that the reason he's not losing weight because of the food he's eating. He does not want to accept that he has to change his diet in order to lose weight. And he's very overweight. And as a guy who was in shape, he's trying to convince me that he knows what's best for him as someone who's never ever lost weight. And he keeps saying, "Oh, I have bone weight." And he says, "I have there's two types of weights. There's regular weight and bone weight. I have a lot of bone weight." And I proceed to tell him, like, "What are you talking about? Like, none of this is true." And I wanted to kind of lay it in his head that he was wrong, but I didn't want to be rude and I didn't want to just overstep, because I noticed in the middle of the conversation that he was never going to accept, right? He was never going to accept that he had to change his foods. He was never going to accept what I had to say, because he just doesn't want to get rid of that part of his life that's a huge desire, which is food, which is getting rid of sugars and carbs. He doesn't want to accept that. And when somebody doesn't want to accept something that is fulfilling their flesh, you're never going to get through to them. Most people who change, most people change their bad habits, they have usually come to the point where they hate this part about themselves and they just need someone to help guide them out of that bad habit. If the person you're trying to give information to, they have not accepted that they need help, you're never going to get through to them that they need help. It's like trying to convince someone who's in the midst of an alcoholism or someone who's a huge drug addict, and they don't care about going to rehab. They don't care about ever changing, and they're happy and content with the spot that they're in. Then there's nothing you can do for them. Only thing you can really do is pray, because God is the only one who's going to get through to them that they're doing something wrong. But it was just so amazing to me that I'm trying to teach this dude and tell this dude how he can become muscular, which is what he wants to do, but he will not accept that he has to change this one area of his life. He just will not accept it. Like, changing your life is not a difficult thing. It's not a hard thing to do, to change your life. Like, it's something that is actually very overcomplicated when you go online and look for motivation. Changing your life comes down to getting rid of things in your life that are distracting you. So that's getting rid of the alcohol. That's getting rid of the weed. That's getting rid of the porn. That's getting rid of the useless entertainment. That's getting rid of shit friends. That's getting rid of environments that aren't conducive to success. It's just getting rid of a lot of things. You don't need to add anything in your life to make it better at all. You don't need to add anything. When I first said I wanted to make a change in my life, when I first said I wanted to be something different, the first thing I did was I got a piece of paper and I listed every single bad habit that I had, and I checked them all one by one and said, I'm going to do this first one. I'm going to get rid of this for the next 12 hours. Once I did that for about 2 days, I got to the next thing. Then I got to the next thing, and I got to the next thing. And before you knew it, I was clean of all these things that I thought were affecting me. And once that happened, I started putting that energy into things that were conducive, like getting in shape, like making more money, like anything, like being healthier, anything I could do. But it just started with me getting rid of a lot of the things in my life that were taking me away from my purpose. Living a sinful life is complicated. Living a sinful life is tiring, which is why you don't have time to do the things that you think that you're supposed to do. If you're always vaping, drinking, smoking, going to the club, partying every night, getting blackout drunk, sleeping around, falling into your lust, that's a whole lot of chaos going on in your life. There's a reason the Bible says live a simple life, because living a simple life leads to prosperity. It leads to progression. It leads to an easier relationship with God because you don't have a lot going on. The best life is a simple life because it keeps you out the way. It's hard for the devil to attack a person who lives a simple life. It's hard for the devil to attack a person who just goes to work, goes to the gym, comes home, takes care of his family. Like, it's hard for the devil to attack that guy who doesn't really care about too much. He just goes to church, goes to Bible study. It's hard for the devil to attack that guy because that guy's not overcomplicating things. It's not too much going on in his life for the devil to throw at him. But the dude who's always in the mix, it's very easy for the devil to attack. It's very easy for the devil to get. And the devil's going to throw things from the internet that make you want to live a more chaotic life. He's always going to show you videos of here's how to get rich quick, or here's how to get more women, or look at this, or party flyers, or look at this spring break in Miami and Houston. Like, he's trying to throw you all these things in order for you to get up out of your seat and go to them so he can then distract you further. He wants to take the simplicity out of your life. The best life in the world is a boring life. I love living a boring life. I love just getting up in the morning. I love just going to work. I love just eating healthy. I love just going to the gym. And I love coming home and reading my Bible and getting right with God. That is the best life, and you cannot tell me any different. Because you are out the way. And the best thing is, at the end of that, you have eternity, which is better than anything you thought that you can get to. Eternity. This doesn't even amount to that part. It doesn't even amount. Like, whatever. I want you to imagine the highest form of this life. I want you to imagine having the most money, the most cars, the most women. Imagine what the craziest life you could imagine. It's still not even 1% of what God has in store for you. Not even 1%. Why do you think people like Drake and Diddy and Jay-Z and all these people end up going off the rails? Why do you think they always have alcohol problems or drinking problems, or they keep trying to fulfill their lust in the most deviant ways? Because you cannot get true fulfillment from anything besides eternity through God, through Jesus. Let me be specific. You cannot do it. I don't care how hard you try. You cannot get anything that's going to fulfill you more than the Lord himself. Nothing. It doesn't matter what part of life you're going to go to. It doesn't matter how far you get. You'll never find anything to fill that void besides him. And I'm not saying don't go try to start a business. I'm not saying don't go try to explore things or be adventurous. I'm just saying stay out of the mix of the BS that a lot of these people are getting into. Stay out of environments where friends that are always trying to go out and drink and escape the reality that they're living. Friends that don't care about your progression. Stay away from those people, because those people, I'm going to be totally honest, at the end of the day, as soon as you tell them, hey, I don't want to drink anymore, they're not even going to be your friends. As soon as you tell them, hey, I don't want to smoke weed anymore, they're not going to be your friends. They're not going to want to be your friends. So they were never really your friends in the first place. They were just, y'all were just in pity together. Y'all were just in pity together. Real friends want to see you get better. Real friends want discipline. Real friends want to see you become a better person. They're going to tell you the truth when you're messing up. I got maybe like one or two people in my life right now that I consider people that I like to hang out with and are truly disciplined when it comes to life, right? Most people I know that are my friends that are genuinely cool, I met online and I don't know them from a can of paint. What that goes to show me is that most people are just distracted, and most people don't even care about the next day. They don't even think nowhere near ahead in life in order for them to get better.